Islam Moors. Start up with a prayer. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My
and my salvation.
By
night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Jew Ali. Islam. Peace and love to all Moors. Let's read our letters to be read every meeting. A word from the Prophet to be read in every meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must put an end to all radical and agitating speeches while on their jobs, homes, or on the public streets. We advocate peace and not destruction. Stop trying out your cards with the Europeans, for it causes confusion. There has been much confusion caused by members trying out their cards. The cards are for your salvation. Failure of obeying my orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members that seek to hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or to violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet, and if they lose confidence in their prophet, give up your card and button, cease wearing your turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. For this is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Jew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet is sending out a divine plea to all true Moorish Americans that they may do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Noble Jew Ali. To the members of the Moorish Science Temple. Islam, these are the instructions from your holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali. Be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on, but the weak comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near. So says Allah to his divine prophet, I, Noble Jew Ali. And that is why many hearts have turned to stone, and many have eyes to see but cannot see, ears to hear but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sins. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you will hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace, your divine prophet, Noble Jew Ali. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Islam, I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people on our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme they can to disqualify me, so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the last few years. Islam. We wanted to touch on because there's a lot of people, few people have been contacting me about this whole thing with the end. These were people, a lot of people have been contacting me with this whole thing with the NAAIP. National Association for the Advancement of Indigenous People. National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. So we wanted to bring that up because a lot of people are moving in this direction again, of wanting to connect themselves to a tribe. They want to tie themselves to a tribe. The United Nations says that whatever. We went to the meeting with the United Nations and we have a seat in the United Nations, and they're doing these things to tie themselves to the nations of the world, for lack of a better term. What is openly recognized is that the declarations that come out of the United Nations prescribe to and support the fact that people should be nationals, right? If there's a people or a nation or a tribe or whatever that the United Nations is speaking on behalf of, the prerequisite is that they have a nationality. Now, there's people, NAAIP, for example, right, that push the same concept like what Moors are pushing, but they're not declaring a nationality. They're saying generically that our people are indigenous people. Our people are, they'll echo the same lessons that we have, that we're not colored, we're not Negro.
Are they saying indigenous to the planet?
Yeah, they're saying indigenous, like we're indigenous people to the planet. So we should be looked at in a certain way, be treated a certain way, blah, blah, blah. Majority of people who so-called came over here in slavery would have colored on their birth certificate. These are the things that they're using to justify the transition. Because, if these people aren't called colored anymore, then what are they, right? And they're going back to claim that you're indigenous, which on the surface, the argument is not wrong. For carrots on the stick, say indigenous people, because it means that the individual who is trying to find out who they are don't have to do anything, because that individual is going to do everything on their behalf, and all you have to do is just put your name on this paper right here, and then you get down with the thing, and then we'll go on and we'll handle everything on your behalf. Well, if we're talking about identity and know thyself, then that's on the individual, because my identity is not relative to you unless we have a common bond. So I might, like we use nationality card. Our nationality cards are relative, right? Because they identify individuals of the same nation, right? So you go to a store and put on your nationality card for whatever, or you go to whatever building anywhere, and that individual who you're dealing with is going to say, well, I don't recognize that because, you know, Canada didn't give it, or Trudeau didn't sign it, or whatever, right? You tell them, well, if you want this verified, call the number. Here's the number, and they'll verify that I am who I say I am based on that. And they say, give me the number. They call, and then they verify it. That's the only way that our identities are one. Other than that, if we're talking about know who you are and go get a job and whatever like that, that's all on the individual. Right? So when people become, you know, they would say leaders, representatives, whatever, right? We go to the lessons that anybody who is taking a position of authority in an association, organization, group, whatever, really and truly they're a priest. Really and truly they're a priest. And we learn in the Red Book that priesthood is dead. So if the priesthood is dead, you don't need the individual, and at the same time you don't need the association that the individual is using to speak from, or the platform that they're using to speak from. You don't need that platform now. Islam more, because as long as that head is buried, right, then everything that head came with is buried. Because they're playing ownership. Whereas when we look at what Noble Drew Ali did, his thing was open to anybody. It wasn't something where you know, like when they make relative Holy Quran and Unto Thee I Grant and Rosicrucian books and all that stuff, right? There was Europeans who took the teachings of Noble Drew Ali and went and did stuff for Europeans, knowing that they can find Holy Quran stuff in Unto Thee I Grant, Aquarian Gospel, or whatever, right? They know that they can find information in these two sources, right? But they didn't go with the Aquarian Gospel and where that came from. They thought in their mind that, you know what, if we're going to copy anybody, we're going to copy this man by the name of Noble Drew Ali and have an organization, which their organization carried on, and then they still have members around today. Europeans who said this is the flag of the land, who said that, yeah, the Moors are, you know, I mean, who they say they are and all that stuff. They weren't playing like, oh yeah, this is our flag and we don't recognize who the Moors are, because, you know, they know that the Moors gave them everything. They know that the Moors were the ones. It wasn't the Africans or the Egyptians or the Sumerians or whoever that our people say that they are today.